Yay Networks.
You're listening to the Chatty Daddies podcast.
Welcome to the Chatty Daddies, and we are down a member today. So I'm Trey.
I'm JC.
No Nick Adams.
No Nick Adams. He's the one with the sick kids this week.
You know what's interesting? Children keep getting in the way of our parenting podcast.
That's the thing. Like
I
feel like they should be giving us content, you know?
Right. And I mean, this will be great next week to hear about how Nick traversed all of these obstacles with 2 sick kids at home. And then I believe Blair also got a little something from the kids as well. So Nick's just kind of out there by himself trying to fend off everything. We'll get to hear about it all next week. But this week, it's just Daddy, Sweet Daddy T and Baby JC. Wait, no, what's the clever nickname for JC?
I thought I was Sweet J.
Sweet J.
But since you're Sweet Daddy T, we can't have double sweet. That might create a cavity.
We'll work on it. So Quaid has been doing something that's pretty cool. When did you start doing swim lessons for Chloe and Kaysen?
We had a community pool, so we just moved into a house with a pool last year. So because I was really scared, and this is a lot of parents, by the way. If you're scared to, you're in the market for a house and you keep putting off those houses with the pools, I totally get you. We did the same thing.
100%. I do. Whenever we were looking to buy our first house, I wouldn't even look at houses with stairs because I know me. I'm kind of a klutz. I don't pay attention. So I don't want to be walking up and down the stairs with a brand new baby.
Right.
So I knew no stairs if we're going to do some family planning.
But luckily our neighborhood, Trey, had one of those community pools.
Yep.
And so the cool thing about the community pools is that the kids can't go there unless you're with them, you know? And so we started teaching them, early on. I think Kaysen was probably 2 or 3, and Chloe was, right behind him. She was probably about a year when we started putting her in the water.
And so you just did it yourself? Like no help? No?
Yeah, we did it ourselves.
Well, did you watch a YouTube video or what?
No, man, it was weird because I just did what was instinctual as a parent. I thought, if I was a kid, how would I want to learn how to swim? And basically in my head, I'm like, I would want to make sure I'm always feeling supported.
Yeah.
So I did the whole thing where we just would have our hand underneath their little bellies. And we would just glide them along, and I would tell them to move their arms and stuff. And occasionally, I got to the point where I was able to let go of their bellies a couple times, and they would float until they would realize and freak out. And man, dude, I would say after maybe a month, 2 months, they felt comfortable enough to start paddling on their own.
Wow, that's pretty good.
Yeah, it was not bad, and they were really young. I think the younger the kids are, the easier things become for them.
Right, of course. They got a lot more brain dexterity. So Quaid is 1.5 years old, and we've been doing swim lessons for 3 weeks now. He was not a fan at all in the beginning. The very first time I didn't go, Kara was like, let me do this as a bonding experience for me and Quaid. And so I was just, sure, whatever. I'll spend an extra hour on a Saturday doing nothing, whatever. And so she went the first time, and she said it was a rough day. It was a lot of Quaid screaming, not wanting to be in that pool.
Now, I will say this, Trey. What you asked me if we didn't get it. We did get Kaysen swim lessons, the same thing that you're doing with Quaid.
Yeah.
And I guess it's every kid that does this because Kaysen freaked out and cried the whole time, and we thought we were terrorizing him. So that's why I didn't take him back. But obviously, it's working for Quaid.
Yeah, and so, Kara went back the next week, and so I tagged along for that one and kind of hid just in case he was freaking out because I'm, just 2 parents to help out and be an extra little bit of excitement he could see to calm him down a little bit. Hey, it's okay. Didn't need me to be there at all week number 2. And then he didn't love doing everything, but he was just kind of complacent and not screaming. And then this past weekend, he started to love it, started smiling, got some great videos of it, and he even got to jump off the side of the pool. He would sit on the side, not run and jump. He sits on the side, and then the teacher kind of pushes him in, and he stayed under for 3 seconds. Whoa! Which in my mind sounds like
eternity.
Well, in my head it sounds like nothing. 1, 2, 3. But then they were saying like that's a long time for only being here for 3 weeks. That was amazing. So he's doing great, and it was a little nerve-wracking in the beginning for Mom, and I didn't get to see any of the meltdown stuff. He just seems to be having a good time now, and I enjoy watching him do stuff, but I want to dive in too. They don't want you to do cannonballs in that pool.
No, I guess it causes the children not to be able to swim correctly, probably. You know what I think is a great idea for a lot of parents out there, especially kids that are about Quaid's age?
Yeah.
If you put them in those, even younger than Quaid, put them in those swim survival classes. Have you seen those videos, dude?
I have not seen any of the videos, but I do know like the basic premise is they just, kind of fill their lungs up with air and know how to float and kick their legs till they get to the side. Yeah.
It is so incredible what these little kids, and they're like 2, 3, 4, 5 months old, and they just throw them in the pool, and the babies know how to turn on their backs and basically float until an adult can help them. These swim survival classes are a must if you're around water a lot. So definitely look into that.
Totally. I used to not want to go to the in-laws' place because both sets of in-laws have pools, and they're like, oh, we'll go grill out in the backyard. And I'm like, we need a fence up around this thing.
Yeah.
We need, of course, those are all dumb thoughts to have because we got 14 people paying attention to them. It was, pre-going over there, I was just like, I don't know, there's a pool, I don't know.
No, you're right. But you're right to feel that way. A lot of these accidents with pools happen when there's a lot of people around because it's a quiet accident. It's not
just
like
kind of somebody falls in, or maybe people are already in the pool playing, so you don't notice.
Exactly. Oof. Yeah. So you're right to feel that way, and I know a lot of parents feel that way. So don't feel like you're being too overprotective.
Do you feel like you or Kinsey are the more overprotective parent?
Oh, man.
Or does it depend situation by situation? Because I feel like a lot of times I'm like, boy, I'm the guy that's just like trying to protect him and always picking him up and all that. But then more often than not, I'm also the one that's like throwing him into, throwing him up high in the air and bouncing him off the bed and all that kind of stuff.
I'd say it's situational. I'm like you, man. I'm very protective of my kids to where I find myself pushing myself to let them go be kids. So like my kids are now to the age where you think back when you were that age. I have memories from being 7, 8, 9, 10 years old, right? That we have these memories. And when I think back, my parents left me home alone because they had to, my dad had 3 jobs. My mom had to go to work. So I was often left home alone by the time I was 8.
Right.
And I would go out in the neighborhood on my bike. I was crossing streets on my own. I was like major streets. And I get scared just to let my son ride his bike in the neighborhood because I think this dingleberry is going to get hit by a car, because I'm constantly in fear that something bad's going to happen. So I find myself pushing and saying, no, let them go be kids. If they're going to fall down and break an arm, they're going to fall down and break an arm. That's just part of being a kid. So I tell them, go outside, go ride your bike, go fall down, go climb a tree.
Where did we learn that? Because like my dad was like, go have fun. Like was he in the back of his mind going, okay, I got to make sure that he goes and has fun and I'm not being overprotective?
I would love to ask them. I don't know.
Like, because at some point I learned, got to protect the kid. And I don't know where exactly. I don't know if it's from TV or just like reading the news on the internet about, just terrible things happening in the world. So I'm like, oh, my son's important. I got to protect him. I don't know.
I think that's actually it, man. It's social media. I mean, all these... When you open social media, you're bound to see one of the people you follow throw up something that happened to their kid.
Yeah.
And you automatically envision that happening to your kid. So then you wrap them up in this little freaking eggshell thing.
Right.
I would say it's social media because our parents definitely did not care what we were doing when we were kids.
Now, I will say, I want to know, like, I want Quaid to go and like have fun and go, with his friends out on trails and, kind of not tell me where he's going to go and like come home a little late. Like I know that's what kids do. And then I have to be like, oh no, you got to get home. The whole father-son dynamic where you got to have some kind of discipline. But honestly, I just want to know what like trails you go on. Like I remember how awesome some of like the dirt bike trails we would go and find, and like I found a graveyard in the middle of like the woods one time. It was crazy.
Or the forts you would build out there in the wilderness, and you just take your magazines out there and maybe a couple pillows and just That was fun.
We had an overpass we would jump off of when it would rain for a long time. Like when it would flood, this overpass like had a bunch of water underneath it, so we knew like the actual depth of the little creek that was there.
Right.
I want to know all of those cool spots that Quaid gets to, but I also want him to be able to have the secrets and his fun time and his getting to go out into the wilderness where mom doesn't know. I want to know him.
I want my kids to be like me in the sense that I had those friends that did the dumb things and we went out and created the forts and stuff.
Yeah.
But at the same time, when my friends were like, hey, let's do this stupid thing, like let's bomb a humongous hill on our skateboard, and then make sure we don't get hit by a car. I was really good at saying, nah, I'm not going to do that.
Oh, really?
But I'll watch you do it.
I hope that you're able to instill that in your own kids, and I hope that you're able to guide me through instilling that in my own. Because I was the guy that was like, sure, I'll get inside the grocery cart as you ram it into the curb at full speed. We saw it on Jackass. Why wouldn't we do it?
Of course, yeah.
Oh, but that's good that you were able to say no. I generally was the unfun kid as well and didn't want to get in trouble. But I still did some dumb stuff.
Listen, I still question how I survived my childhood at times, the things that we did, and did you have a childhood if you don't have those moments where you're like, man, I can't believe I'm alive?
Right, exactly. And there's been so many great advances in the world from the time we were kids. Like, technology is awesome. I can get all of the information in the world at the touch of a finger. It's no longer a Game Boy where I have maybe 2 games and I have to wait until Christmas to get a new game. We now have our phones and whatnot. Like, you can just play whatever game you want for hours on end for free. It's pretty awesome how far we've come. And you know what else is great? A subscription from KiwiCo. That is really how they've advanced learning at home in 2022. KiwiCo delivers monthly science and art projects that celebrate a child's natural curiosity, and it sparks a love for lifelong learning. Not just like while I'm sitting in the classroom. It's while they're at home, where they're with their family, where they want to have fun. They get to combine fun and learning with KiwiCo.
And here's the thing. I know Trey just mentioned, hey, we have all these games at our disposal and we have all these electronics. And then you start noticing your kids on it too much.
Yeah.
You want them to do some hands-on type stuff. KiwiCo is going to do that for you. And it's not just for little tiny kids, because you can discover subscription lines for kids of all ages, ranging from infants, the little tiny ones, to preschoolers, all the way to teenagers. And also, I'm a grown-up. Trey's a grown-up. Nick's a grown-up.
Oh.
We've all talked about how much we actually join in on the fun, too, with KiwiCo.
How often do you find yourself playing a game or like building something with toys that you're like, this is not fun? KiwiCo brings the whole family together.
And it actually, let's be honest, we forget about a lot of the things we learned back in school.
You get to relearn them too.
It's a nice little refresher for us.
You get to explore new worlds. Your kids get to explore new worlds, or maybe rediscover some of the familiar ones without leaving home. You can discover the magic of science and engineering to making like a domino machine. They got all kinds of great stuff out there. So step into spring and celebrate the season of discovery with KiwiCo and grab yourself a subscription today. Get 30% off your first month plus free shipping on any crate line with code DADDIES at KiwiCo.com. That's 30% off your first month at KIWICO.com. Promo code DADDIES.
I'm telling you, we built the robot, I think, with our second crate, and that was a couple years ago, and my son still has it, and they still bring it out because they think it's the coolest thing ever.
I love it.
Speaking of my son, so I had a dad injury.
All right.
I guess when you become a parent, you hurt your back.
Yeah, your knees just stop working as well. Your back is always tight.
They say it's because of the way you held them when they were little toddlers and your hips. I hurt my back to the debilitating. It's tough to get up off the ground, get out of bed, that kind of back injury. But my son, this is where I gotta tip my hat to this guy. My son, I've been going for runs. Obviously not now because I hurt my back, but I've been doing my mile runs at least 5 days a week.
And you've done that throughout all of 2022? I was meaning to ask you about that.
Yeah, I still have been doing it except for this week when I hurt my back, right?
Cool.
And so, but I added a little extra with my son because I'm trying to get him to go out there and join in on these runs with me. And when I finish my mile, I like to cap it off with some hill sprints.
Oh, geez. Okay, yeah.
These are the things that we as kids often said, I cannot wait till I don't have to play sports anymore and do these things anymore. But I'm doing them on my own. I like to go, I just run my sprints up the hill. And so I have this bet with Kaysen. I told him, if you beat me, and I give him one where he starts with me, we run 5. One where he starts with me, and then a couple others where I give him like a 5-yard, 10-yard head start. And he has yet to beat me, but it's going to happen. And yesterday, it's been icy here at our spot, and he noticed me moving very slowly, and he goes, "Hey, I think tomorrow the weather's going to clear up. We should go run.
That's great. That's awesome.
I said, you know what, man? I'm happy that you're wanting to get in shape because his football season's about to start. I'm like, I'm cool with that and everything, but your dad's hurt. And he goes, you said it doesn't matter. You said I said, what do you mean it doesn't matter? He goes, you said if I beat you, you would give me V-Bucks for Fortnite. And so I want to race you tomorrow. Now, do I race him and let him have this win? Because there is absolutely zero possibility of me beating this kid up a hill.
Now, I think that you got to ask the question, is this a win for you, Kaysen? Is it really a win for you, or is it just about the 40? Because I already know you're going to win. Do you just, you could save yourself the extra back pain and go, listen, we already know you're going to win because I'm hurt. So you can have the $40. If you just want the $40 because we know you're going to win, I'll go actually watch you because that'll be a good thing for him to do. You actually can go and run those sprints, but I'm not going to run because I know I'm going to lose.
Yeah, it's the whole thing of I get it, you're being smart and everything, but don't you want to earn things?
Yeah, is that really how you want to win? Because if it is, then I'll give you the $40. Or if you want to actually take some pride in your victories, then you can wait till I'm fully healed.
And my male ego can't take my son when we're out amongst his friends and the other dads constantly talking about how he beat me in a race, which he will do.
Here's an interesting thought. Why do dads worry about their son beating them at something athletically or, beating them at chess or something along those lines?
I don't know. I think it's just the competitive nature.
Yeah.
And you're competitive with your friends.
Always.
I think it's a little more when it's your own seed, man. Because I know I got my dad's strength. I haven't had to use it yet because he's still smaller than me. But I just think it's the one thing we still hold on to that we're like, all right, one day you're going to be bigger and faster and stronger than me. But right now I am still the alpha.
I don't really want him to be stronger than me to where he can ragdoll me around, but also I want him to be faster than me. I want him to be better than me at stuff because I'm pretty good at athletic ability stuff.
You're a great basketball player,
but I would love for him to be even better than me. And if he is a phenom at 12, I would love to be his champion.
Of course. Yeah, I want Kaysen to be faster and stronger than me, but I don't want it to happen when he's 10.
Yeah.
Yeah. That takes a hit. That would hit the ego a little too hard when a 10-year-old is already surpassing me. Now, if he does it when he's 13, 14, 15, I'm all good with that. You go ahead and take the reins and be the athlete of the family at that point. I'm fine with that.
And I feel like I say it every week. All of my preconceived notions get just completely smashed as they happen. I'm like, oh, all right, now I get why people say that. Oh, okay, yeah, all right. Guess JC and Nick were right about that. All right. So, yeah, because I come up with a bunch of oh, here's how it's going to happen for me. And then you guys are like, yeah, okay, whatever, dude. We used to think that too, and now we're here. So I have definitely learned to maybe not put 100% of my chips onto my preconceived notions.
Now, I also did have a moment. My wife made me cry. Because I had my daddy-daughter dance last week, Trey. Last weekend.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. Yeah.
It was, and daddy-daughter dances, although they seem like they might be a whooping because you think your daughter's just going to go with you to this dance and then just want to hang out with her friends, which is mostly what happens. I'd say 80% of the time they're hanging out with their friends. But those little moments where they come up to you and they go, "Will you dance with me, Daddy?"
Yeah.
Or will you have she wanted a Shirley Temple, and will you get me a drink? Well, you get to actually show your daughter what a date with a man should be like, and you pick them up and you get them their little flowers and everything. But what I was not noticing, and this is what I suck at as a dad, is that I don't take pictures very often. I don't take videos. I don't do any of that stuff. And I wish I was more present when it comes to that sort of stuff to get it for my wife. My wife was capturing videos when we were getting ready and pictures. And the next day, she presents this, I believe she did it on Insta, like a reel, like a TikTok type video with music in the background from Taylor Swift. And bro, my eyes just like, it was no warning or anything. I just started tearing up, and I'm like, this is the nicest wife thing you could have possibly done for me this weekend. It was the sweetest video ever.
Right. Yeah. I think we all need to get better. I'm saying this as husbands. I feel like it's a husband trait to not take photos. I think we all need to today, right now, go when you're listening to this. If you're a husband, if you're a wife, or mother, you've probably already taken 20 photos today. But if you're the husband and you don't always take photos, go take a picture right now, candid, staged, whatever, and then try to do that once a day. I don't know. Like I fail all the time, and Kara's asked me 20 times, take more photos of y'all. So
yeah, maybe that's something that I'm going to add that to my New Year's resolution, even though we're basically in the first in the third month of the year. But I'm going to add that on there. I'm going to try to be more present and watch when my kids are interacting with my wife and get those shots for her.
So do you ever go back and look at old photos in your phone?
I do all the time.
Really? Okay, so that's interesting to me because I never go back and look. So it doesn't make sense. I never think about looking at photos, so I never think about taking photos. But that's interesting that you do go back and look at photos, but you're never like, oh, I should get a photo of that. And
I think it's when you start noticing. Like, I noticed my son is getting close to my wife's height. And
what?
Yeah, he's getting that tall. And so you start realizing how fast, and people tell you this all the freaking time when you become a parent. Enjoy it while it lasts. It goes by fast.
That's
and
every time
you're
sitting most.
Yeah, you're like, oh yeah, cool, whatever. I'm just trying to get freaking sleep at this point. But it really does. And I find myself when I notice something small like that, I go back.
Yeah.
And I'll go look at pictures from when they were 1 and 2 and 3. And when I used to do the daddy's home dance, when I used to come home, like I go back and watch those videos just so that, because I want to relive that moment. And there's no way to do it except with pictures and videos.
Well, I was just thinking the other day, like I was like, okay, so there's like 16 years until Quade's like out of the house. So what do we have to do? Like save up for college and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, holy crap. Like I'm thinking way too far down the road, which I do need to have some sort of college fund and all that set up like we do. But I also need to not think of it in a way of like, hey, he's going to be out of the house. So I need it to be, hey, he's going to be out of the house. So we need to make today important and make some kind of memory today. And capture that on video. Why would you not? We have all the technology in the world.
Yeah, I dig it. So there you go. That's a little homework assignment for the chatty daddies because, let's be honest, the chatty mommies have pretty much been doing that for us.
And you know what? Nick Adams, if we're being honest, Nick is the one that keeps this whole train running on time and keep going down the tracks. We don't have a chatty daddy. We don't have a bop of the week, a daddy.
Well, we all need to be present together, or at least have 3 people in studio so that we could judge each other correctly. You know what I mean?
Right. And plus, Nick is the funny one, really. So without him, what are we doing here? We'll have him back in studio next week. We'll have him back with us next week, and we'll be able to talk about what happened with his kids, and we'll bring more funny to you. So I'm Trey.
I'm JC.
And
And remember,
stand up straight. We're gonna get it one day.
Yeah, we got it almost.
The Chatty Daddies Podcast.